Hi, I'm cKnoor, and what you probably don't know about me is that when I grew up, I was a huge DuckTales fan. Not only for the NES game, but also for the cartoon and the actual comic, which was awesome, so I was pretty pumped when DuckTales Remastered was announced. And then I got to play it, and something didn't feel right. It felt a bit off. So I decided to do some investigating. So what I've done is I've played the Amazon level from both the original NES version and the remastered version, and I've put them in a few segments, one after each other, and by the end of this level, I think we'll both know what's wrong with DuckTales Remastered. Starts pretty darn quickly, and pretty straightforward so far. I mean, this is just nice. Good music. I recorded this on an emulator because I couldn't be bothered to hook up my NES to my capture card, but, you know, I'm lazy. The thing I liked about the original, other than it being Uncle Scrooge, of course, is the fact that there's a lot of hidden treasures that you can find, so it's actually, you know, treasure hunting, as opposed to just running through a level to the end. You can actually get through most of levels in DuckTales pretty quickly if you just want to get to the boss and find the treasure, but usually you just want to find all the gems possible so you can get that cool special ending. Okay, I think we're about done at the bottom here. You can keep going to the right, but I choose not to. Let's look at the remastered version, shall we? Okay, start screen. If you actually start this from the beginning, you get an introduction level for the money bin, which does nothing. Still picking levels here. Okay. Oh, yeah, I removed all of this because it's 1 minute and 14 seconds of cutscenes.
Somewhere in this overgrown salad bowl, and I'm not leaving till I find it.
Hey! We're finally in game. Well, this is pretty looking. And the music's good. I've played on the save a bit, so I have a bunch of extra hearts, as you can see. In the remastered version, you can find an extra heart container in every level. Well, except the money bin and the final level, I think. But everyone else. In the NES, there's only 2 extra heart containers. Oh, sweet. A coin.
Launchpad, I found an ancient coin depicting a nightingale.
Here's the thing, like, this is really cool because it's the original voices, but you hear the same thing every time you play a level, and they're really long. They fixed this bit. You can't do that in the NES version I played because there's some hidden things of that thing just... Well, you can't kill the piranha that way. Piranha plant, rather. Okay, so this is basically the same. The main difference here is that in DuckTales Remastered you have a map because you need to pick up all of those coins that Uncle Scrooge just picked up. So you actually know that this hidden secret exists, even if you hadn't played the original, because it shows up on the freaking map. And another cutscene.
This one had an inscription of an eagle.
Okay, so that one's short. Most of them aren't, which is why I left that one in. Okay, in the NES I went up, but here I actually have to go across because this is the quickest way to find a coin, because there's a coin here in the middle. In the NES version, there's a cake and a 1-up, which we're going to find later by going through the opposite end. Oh, right.
A coin bearing the...
Yeah.
If you say so, Mr. McD.
17 seconds. That's cool. I'm just gonna cut out the rest because, let's be honest, it's not worth it. And here you can see me being kinda shit at this part because it's actually kinda tricky. DuckTales wasn't... It's not a hard game, but it's not an easy game. Let's go back to the NES version and see what's up here. This is one of my favorite bits early on, because you get this invulnerability coin that you can, if you want to, use to go all the to the end of this section, but instead I decided to go treasure hunting because that's what DuckTales is all about. These bees are not that annoying, but some of them are. I'll show some off later. Okay, and here's the end of the section. I call it a section because you can go up and down, and we're gonna go down next. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is the shorter way in the NES path, I think. This fucking hate spiders are tricky. Yeah, so I'm really hurt now. But luckily, there's a cake here. There we go. And now we're out. And now we're on our way back. Just need to make sure that that doesn't hit us. Good. Okay, everything done down here. Let's go upstairs. Well, we could go upstairs, or we could see what the remastered version did to fuck all of this up. Now this, one thing, actually, let's talk about this first. Okay, so here's the invulnerability coin. Good. Let's go up. Get the coin that you have to get. See, in the original version, you could decide if you wanted to get the treasure, and thus be punished because your invulnerability run out. In this version, that's not possible because you need to go up there. And for some reason, they added, like, an extra bit of this. And I have no clue why. Like, it's just more of the same. Because they had to squeeze in another coin, I guess? There we go. And then there's one more hidden out piece up here. But it's essentially an extra section. Which I guess would be nice, except it's just a fucking coin, so you don't get any, like, flow. You can't do a cool thing and just plow through this and be like, whoa, I can kill everything because I'm fucking Uncle Scrooge on a pogo stick. And here's the end section again. And there's another freaking coin right there, but we're gonna go down here first because, yet again, a coin. Okay. Ooh. This is so much better now that I've removed all the cutscenes. At the end of this, I'm gonna add a timer so you know how much longer these things actually are. And back to the NES we go. This is one of my favorite parts, just because you have to do that little bit of one up down to dodge the bees, and it's at this point the bees start to get annoying. Here's a classic, well, when I was a kid, I always got hit by that freaking plant, so the ice cream cone gives you some health. Actually, was cancelled by the freaking plant. This bit's not tricky, but the bit coming up is tricky depending on the bee. So you need to hold on here, and if you get the bee coming from the right-hand side, then it's easy, but we got the one coming from the left-hand side, which I'm pretty sure you can dodge it if you're good, and when I'm lazy, I just take a hit to get over with it. And some falling blocks, and that thing's apparently not breakable, which is weird. And that's the end of this section. In the remastered version, it looks pretty different, actually. This is where things start to get real fucked up. For some reason, they flipped this bit over. So, I mean, it's essentially the same thing. You should... Yeah, there's an ice cream cone there, and then it's the last of these freaking coins. Ugh. Okay. And now we're going to the right instead, which I guess isn't that big a deal, but then we find this thing. And after, like, forever of cutscenes, we come to basically an extended section with Launchpad, except in the NES version where it's actually hard, you can just tag along and he pulls you over, and you're like, oh, there's stuff here, let's get down on the ground. And Launchpad actually follows you with his helicopter, so you can always get back on it, which, okay, I'm not really sure why, but if you don't want to collect gems, you can just hang here for the entire section, not doing anything, and the bees won't actually be able to hit you, or at least I haven't been hit by them. Maybe it's harder and harder difficulties, I don't know. It's weird. Okay, and we found some temple, and there's a long-ass cutscene. And that's how this section goes in the remastered version. NES version, so we're in the home stretch now. There's not much left. There's actually 2 paths that we can take to get to the boss of the stage. Or we can decide to get back to Duckburg with Launchpad. You can do the same thing in the remastered version, except Launchpad isn't actually there, as you'll soon see. And you can just go back to Duckburg through the menu, which... Okay. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I find the Launchpad bit... the reason he's here is so that you can go back and collect all the gems again. So you get enough money to get the cool, happy ending. Or extra happy ending, rather. And here is a... here's like the first and probably most well-known shortcut to the boss. If you go down here, you go to the boss, basically. It's a warp. In the remastered version, things are a bit different. This thing's still there. No Launchpad, of course. I don't know why I say of course, but he's not there because he's in the helicopter, I guess. And more stuff. Okay, let's see what's different. Like, I don't even know. It annoys me that they... it doesn't annoy me that they removed Launchpad. That's fine. But then they changed so much else of the game. Like, this bit's not in the original. In the level design. But right there, they decided to... let's keep it. Like, let's keep that shit. Oh, and here we're back. Okay, so cool. If you couldn't tell, there was actually... It's much easier to see this path in the remastered version because the vine that you climb up is actually showing in the bottom screen. And... Okay, so this is not the boss.
Mrs. Beakley, what are you
This is Mrs. Beakley.
Someone has to make sure you
Mrs. Beakley shows up in the NES version as well. And she's going to give you an ice cream cone, a cake, and an extra life. She doesn't show up in every level, though, so she's not actually in the original Amazon's level.
Of course.
Oh.
But I'll find my own way out, thank you very much.
That bit, by the way, worth your weight in gold and whatnot, they do that for every freaking Mrs. Beakley encounter. Okay, so here we're back in the NES version again, and I'm trying to bounce on the spears these guys are chucking, but I'm failing to do so because I haven't done it in a while. Another one of these, and you can use them to just run through everything, because the main gimmick, or the cool thing in this level, at least to me, is this talking statue. You're gonna have to bribe, or you can bribe and it will extend the vine, or you can just be a cool kid and do this. Works just as well. I love that bit. The fact that you can either decide to get help, you're like, I can freaking pogo this and save 300,000. And then there's an extra life. So, and this part's, I remember being slightly annoying and also slightly slow down, but as long as you run forward, this is just, I don't know why that's it. And stand the boss. Okay, same section again. But now in the remastered version. Hold on to your butts because this is going to take forever. Okay, so the invulnerability coin is still at the same place. There's a bunch more spiders. And... Ow. Okay. Probably wasn't actually more spiders, but... I'm trying to get this guy to come with me because I want to bounce on him. To, you know, bounce up. But he's not having it, and I still can't bounce on the spears. But, oh, what the? There's a platform, and here's the same statue. And if you bounce on it a few times, you actually get a bunch of money. It wouldn't surprise me if it's 300k. You also get an achievement for doing that, but I don't know why the fuck they removed it, because that was funny and charming. They removed the extra life over here, though, for a cake, for some reason. I guess they already gave you one, so they didn't want to give you two. This bit's a bit, is a bit trickier in the remastered version, because, well, it's longer, and you actually have to jump and stuff. Oh, okay, so that's the boss. No. Now, I've been complaining about the remastered doing everything bad. I don't actually mind. I think it's kind of cool when they extend the level. I don't think it's cool when they remake parts of it and make them worse, or just like add a bunch of cutscenes that didn't start at this level. But I can't really complain about them making levels longer, because I'll be honest, the DuckTales NES levels are actually kind of short, and I'm pretty sure they're kind of built that way because you can actually run through them pretty darn quickly. And here's a bunch more spiders. Luckily, I have like forever with hearts, so it's not an issue. And over here, I guess we can get even more if I can, you know, get up there, which shouldn't be hard. And a cake. So I'm not sure if you've been keeping track, but there's been many cakes in the remastered level. There's 2 in the NES, I think, if I remember correctly. You know what? There's no need to see the boss fight. The remastered boss fight is a lot longer than the NES boss fight, but they're essentially the same, except that the remastered one has padding, which seems to be the theme for DuckTales Remastered, unfortunately. Looking at my playthrough of the 2 levels in the 2 games, the NES version, it took me 5 minutes and 18 seconds to play through. I didn't rush it, I played like I normally do. I'm okay at the game, as you can see. I didn't do a no damage run, I took damage, I didn't do it to save time, but I wasn't playing fast, I didn't even warp to the boss. The DuckTales Remastered version, though, took me 21 minutes and 26 seconds. That's a lot longer. And that's because, just looking at, excluding the boss fight now, just looking at what I've shown you up to this point, we had 7 minutes and 45 seconds of gameplay, and we had 7 minutes and 25 seconds of cutscenes. That is so many cutscenes! That's half of the level is a freaking cutscene. That's not okay. And that is why DuckTales Remastered isn't really that super great. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not. You've disappointed me, DuckTales Remastered. You're the one that should be sorry. Apologize.